Follow me, matey. Off we go. Thanks, Russell. Have a good last day at work. Let's see what this new rod's got. I have not fitted these, have I? No, I haven't. Well, let's see what you got. Yeah, pretty soft. Should be good. Let's see what you got. See if that's here. Tighten you up a little bit. Not being narcissistic today. There, let's try again. Not bad. That looks good. Alright. Looks pretty good. Let's give you a shot. Tighten you up a little bit. Don't hit Jay's boat. A little more. Fish is going to hit that. Little tighter. Looks a little heavier on this. I have to go heavier, I think. Put you on the BFS. Put you on the BFS. And no. So that one, no. Yep. Break you in. Break you in. Get you a good fish. All right. All right, guys. No, I'm sorry. I forgot you were even on. All right. So, really, I was just testing out this new setup with a really light lure. This is not really going to do it. So, I've gone to Whopper Plopper. I put the Whopper Plopper Popper Finesse on my BFS. I wasn't talking to you. I forgot. So, we're just pulling this behind. We're going to try a largemouth and smallmouth right over here on this, now that I've dialed it in a little bit. Again, this is that Pissy Fun Torrent rod, really inexpensive rod. $40 for this rod. It's a medium power, medium action. So kind of, I mean, it feels good. It's really soft, but it has a good backbone. So I'm kind of curious at if I can get what, you know, set a hook and keep it in there. It's all about that, isn't it? It's all about that. Feel the bite, set the hook, keep it in there. It casts really good. I mean, I'm using the Spark Pro, which I also have it on another rod. I love these. They're really good reels. Real versatile. I put 6-pound fluoro on this. Forgot to set up all my rods. So I got 2 set up. This one with BFS. We're casting right behind the boats here in the marina. We're just pulling this whopper plopper. It's a new whopper plopper I just painted. I'll show it to you. It didn't come out very good, so it won't be for sale. But, I mean, you may think it looks good, but that's what it looks like. And I mean, with the clear coat, it kind of hid a lot of the mistakes I made on it. What is going on with me and painting that moment? I did 4 baits and I wouldn't sell them, but I'll use them. I don't think the fish will notice. Back to a fisherman, they may want something a little cleaner in the paint job. Well, they will. Morning sun off the lake is just blinding. I have sunglasses in my car, but I just don't like wearing sunglasses. I mean, you can't see screens with polarized glasses on. We're just going to go use this whopper plopper. I want to break this rod in, catch its first fish. So we're going to use this rod for a while until we get a couple fish on it. Then we can switch it up to another rod. So we're headed over here to the smallmouth area. The small looks like whopper ploppers. This is not a real big whopper plopper. I think it's a 90, maybe 100. I can't remember. It's a good size though. Good all around size whopper plopper. Could go out to Rainbow Bay and just catch some largemouths. Probably do that. Let's get some fish on this. Morning. Sometimes right here I can get a couple, but sometimes, a lot of times it's pretty empty. It does cast really good. It's got good flex at the tip. I knew it would. It's the backbone that I really want to feel on a hookup. That's what I want to feel. Feel that hookup. We're going to go out to Rainbow Bay. It's where I catch the most fish, and I'm gonna work these smallies for a sec. And we'll head out to my port side and head into Rainbow Bay. Water's 69 degrees. So we're in good water temps for top water. We're going to troll this behind us. Get it to do its job. It's barely doing it, which is good. That's what you want. You just want to activate the lure. Nice thing about water polo, you could run them at different speeds. You can burn them through the water. You could go real slow as long as that prop is moving. See if you can't get a blow up here. You know, this is smallies. A good smallmouth would be great to test this rod on. Really good to test the rod on. It's when you turn away your head, that's when you feel a tug. A lot of babies, you know, a lot of dinks. Oh, there's a little blow up. Little guy. He jumped on it, but he missed it. Probably a little bit bigger than the bait. So we're going to come out here. Keep an eye on it. I love watching blow-ups. So. I'm going to bring it down into this grassy area. Now we're leaving the smallmouth into the largemouth area. The bait's still in the smallmouth area. It's about 60 feet behind me or so. Now it's going to be coming into the largemouth area. Sort of in that mix area right there. I'm going to go in between these buoys. Now this particular bait can catch some pretty big fish. So it'll be really interesting to see what this rod can do with a 2 or 3 pounder on it. Tighten my drag a little bit. Drag's a little loose. There it goes. Always check your drag. Make sure that it's tight, but not too tight. That it will still give and still be able to, be able to keep that hook in your mouth. So we're going to come out here to Rainbow Bay. We're entering it now. This will be interesting. $40 rod. And I got, this kind of completes sort of a nice big spectrum for me as $40 to $200 rods. This whole setup right here, $70. This reel, this rod, $70 was what I paid for it. Well, actually, I didn't pay for the rod. I actually paid $90. think about it, because it's a replacement for a $90 rod they no longer sell. All right, come on, baby. Now we're going to go due south. Kind of work this 10 to 15 foot depth here. Get that bait to really sputter. And again, this is a bad paint. This is a sloppy paint job, I should say. When I used the screen to create the scales, it slipped. So the scales don't look really, really good to me. But like I said, the fish don't care. Fish don't care. It's my son's last day here at the resort for working. He's going to start school, college. Yeah, a father's pretty proud of his kids, when they make a good name for themselves. And Russell has made a very good name for himself as a hard, honest, punctual worker. And 3 qualities, honesty, punctuality, and hard working. Those 3 qualities are what every employer looks for. You could teach them other stuff. You can't teach them those things. So he's proven himself as a solid hire for anybody. This was his first job, and he's proven himself as a solid hire. So they gave him a going away card yesterday, and it was just really sweet what everybody wrote. See, nobody gives me crap. They give me crap. But, it says a lot. Again, as a father, you're very proud. When your children represent you in such an honorable way. Okay, we're coming out to a good tall vegetation here, so hopefully we'll be able to get a hit here pretty quick. We'll fish out here for a bit. Beautiful morning on the lake. Beautiful morning on the lake. Yesterday was a good day all day long. We didn't have that much wind. It was really nice. Is it hung up on itself? We'll go with a wake bait on this too. We had one blow up on it, but it was a little thing. Just a little thing. Sometimes you pause it and the fish is like a mediocrely dishonest person. They just take advantage of a situation when it presents itself. All right, we're going to put a wake bait on it. What's in the other box? I think this bait will work just fine, but the wake baits are working really well right now, so I just want to catch something on this fairly quickly. So, skier, skier. People's campfires, it really gets to my lungs. I like working shorelines, but it's hard for me to breathe. All right. This is a wake bait, black and lavender. I know it's weird, but it works really well. Just sort of cruise along this shelf. Keep casting. Cruise along the shelf. Here's the wakes from that skier. This is like 11 to 15 foot depths, you know, right out here. It's open water bass. Good casting rod. Each rod has its own little personality, you know, the way it flexes and slings the bait out there. And howdy, Mike. Hey, hey, no redemption. Tony, enjoyed your show this morning. Enjoyed your show. So, can't read everything on my watch. I just saw that. Actually, I'm fishing one of the baits that I sent Tony. So, this is a really good bait. Tony bought one of my boxes, which I don't make too many of. Made 4 this year. And Tony got one of them. And I also got a great, and a lot of, I mean, I think about half that box was topwater. There are some really fun baits in there, though. One was one of only 2 craws that I ever did. Really, and it turned out really nice. I like it. Really slow going, fantastic for rivers and stuff like that. You know, anywhere that you find a lot of craws, you know. It's a hard bait with arms that sort of move and whatnot, you know, its claws. Really cool bait. Really cool bait, actually. I only made two of them, and I gave one to a little boy. I'm a sucker for kids, man. I just give baits to children out here. I know. It's like my. I don't really have a business. I just have a children's fishing program. I know it. You guys know when I see a little kid out here, you gonna get something from me. Yesterday was no different either. And guy came up to me and I'm like, "Cause you're terrible at fishing," and he had his little boy Cooper with him. So I gave Cooper a really good bait. It was a wake bait, easy for kids. I mean, wake baits and whopper ploppers, very easy for anybody to get a topwater hit. Really easy bait to work because you can see the bait. You know, there's no guessing. Just get the bait to surface, get a V wake on it. That's the speed. Whopper ploppers, just get it to motor along. It's very easy to understand and work. Now, every other bait, you got to sort of throw it in the water in front of you, look at it, pull it along at different speeds, see what it wants to do. And this way, when you throw it, and you feel that sort of that vibration tug on the tip, you know what it's doing. And you learn that. You know, learn the bait before you start using it. Um, get something over here. There wasn't anything on the fish finder, but I saw a lot of grass down here of this bay. It hasn't hit in the morning. It's been hitting in the afternoon, but it's such a good spot in the afternoon. I know that one morning it's going to be hitting good. So, you know, I go to it for, cast out a few times, see if I get any blow ups, and if I don't, we'll just move on. But and then come back to it about 3 hours later. Um, Maybe it's because of the shade, because it's kind of shady right there, and we're at 69 degrees, almost 70-degree water. It's warmer. The lake's warmer today than it was yesterday, because we're starting a heat spell here in our area. It's supposed to get up to about 100 on Tuesday. Not at this lake, but at my house, which is 1,000 feet lower in elevation than here. There's a lot of vegetation right here, so I'm going to work this area a bit. See if we can't get one to show itself. Rainbow Bay, this bay right here has just been the hot spot this year. Now the big fish have been on the west side. I had a big blow up yesterday on my beast bait, but he missed the hook. I went to set the hook and he just missed it. He blew up on the bait and just missed the hooks. So not a whole lot I could do about that. So he's just a blind fish. Sometimes you find blind fish. They see it, they Mr. Magoo it. Just Mr. Magoo fish. We are trying out a brand new rod. A $40 rod by Pissy Fun. The best customer service company you'll ever. I mean, when they say absolutely worry-free warranty, they mean it. I mean, if this thing broke or had a problem or the guide, one of the inserts fell out, no questions asked. They just replace it. They're really good. Definitely. I mean, they need to get more rods in. They're in between lines right now, I guess. I don't know. I mean, they're carbon X spinning reel, top of the line, bam, right down there. I like the Spark Pro. I'm not crazy about the psychedelic colors on it, but you know, like I said, I'm more of a give me a flat black reel. I'm fine with a flat black bait caster. I'm fine with that. This is sort of a color shifting purple blue. It's cool. I mean, I can make a bait like this. A tiny little pop up right there. There's a little baby fish trying to hit it. Where? Now this is, like I said, it's a medium power, medium action. Yeah, I really like medium, moderate, fast, action. They have more backbone to them. So even though, people say, well, I want a fast action. Well, fast actions are nice. They are. But you're going to get more backbone with a moderate action rod than you would a fast action rod. And I like that. And you can just get used to a certain style, feel to it. I catch my share of fish in a day. And, but you get used to, the action of a rod. And you kind of stay there. But you know what? From one company to the next, their interpretation of action it widely varies. Sort of like resolution on a television. There's no industry standard. So watts per channel, and it's like ridiculous. No industry standards. And so when a company says, well, this is ultra light, extra fast, you could be getting a medium light. You really don't know. And I just wish you could try it before you buy it, type of thing, I mean, even at a Bass Pro Shop, you really can't try it before you buy it. I'd like to take my BFS reel in and cast it a few times on certain rods. That would be a great shop. That's a fisherman's shop, just grab a rod, throw your equipment on it, and just see if it works for you. But when it comes to most things nowadays, you just can't do that. I mean, how do you buy speakers? I'm an audio guy. How do people buy speakers nowadays? On a wing and a prayer? Because it's pretty much what they do. I mean, try to find a store with sound rooms so you can listen and do A/B comparisons anymore. But yeah, I wish with a fit, we don't, the marina here doesn't sell really great rods. I wish they did, because you could just throw on your reel on it, fit it up, take it out to the dock and toss it out a few times and really test it and try different weights of baits and stuff like that. And it's like, you do that with cars, right? You drive it before you buy it. Well, same thing with fishing gear, in my opinion. But that's me. Because I've been disappointed with fishing gear. Who hasn't? Who hasn't? Nowadays, it's interesting, these composite rod blanks, they are very good. But I've been going with carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is lighter, it's more sensitive, it transmits better, but it's more fragile, believe it or not. I've never broke so many rods in my life, you know, until I started buying hand-rolled carbon fiber rods. Okay, we're coming up to the first buoy. It's about 100 yards from here. And in between that and the other buoy is really good shallow vegetation. It's about 5 feet deep and really, really good area to get some topwater action. Again, I want to land something with this rod before I progress to one of my other rods. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I love days like this, guys. This makes you glad you have this hobby. Just be out on a beautiful lake like this. I don't know if you guys can see the lake, really. That's Mount McLaughlin right there. And I got Mount Brown. Both those are volcanoes. We're in a volcanic chain where I live. And tons of volcanic action and lava tubes. In fact, the Lava Tube National Park, or Lava something National Park, is about a half hour from my house, and it's cool because I mean you could fly a plane in some of those lava tubes. They're just massive, massive wormholes in the earth. It's awesome. It really is. I mean you gotta check it out. Lava something National Park. I don't forget. Lava something. Lava Monument. I think it's Lava Monument National Park. The Indian Wars were fought there. Captain Jack. Yeah, he was the only. I mean, it was the last Indian Wars, and he would use the lava tubes to sneak behind the enemy lines and kill them. Pretty smart guy. Really smart guy. So, very, very cool. Okay, let's bring him in and start casting over this vegetation over here and get some blow-ups. I don't know. So I'm on a California diet, pretty much. I'm not in California. I lived in California, born and raised, but fruits and nuts, you know, the granola state. It's pretty much what I'm on. And water. Lots of water, fruits and nuts. Because my doctor says I have to graze. And I like fruits and nuts. Maybe because I'm from California. I don't know. You know, there was some fish over by that down tree. We're going to head over there. And because I caught a couple fish over there. So let's see if Annie's hiding in that cover right now. Oh, we got one. See, that's what, you never give up on a cast. Never give up. Stop it. Get you out. Get you out. All right. I'm working on it. Stop. There we go. There we go. All right, so a little quarter pounder with cheese. Go grow up. Always tell them to grow up. Move the boat. Boom. He hit right in front of the boat. All right, let's get over here. Let's see. So first fish landed, about a quarter pounder. So let's get you guys to look out here. on our brand new rod, it held really well on that little fish. Held up really well. You guys can see. There we go. Maybe that'll. Should be middle frame. I don't know if this can cast over to that cover. You need to get over closer to that cover. I'd like to catch a smallmouth. The smallmouth is going to be closer to the shoreline than it will be. These are largemouths, like that last one we caught. And we're going to flip this thing over here. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Almost perfect. I wanted this distance. So. Work that short. There's that cover. Right there, that down tree right there. You see the root stock sticking up. Got a couple fish right there yesterday. It extends out, so there's a good portion of a trimmed tree into the water there. Skier again. We're at 4.5 feet right here. Yep, where the boat is. It's rocky shoreline that comes into the vegetation. So that's why I like the smallmouths along the shoreline. They're very shallow this year. Come on. Yeah, like I say, you never know. We'll come back out here. We're going to work the vegetation for the largemouth. Loosen that, break up a little bit, a little further cast. Hopefully about that much. I hate that. That looks good. I'd buy that. it's kind of a slow going in the morning here. This place really picks up when the sun hits it. It's about right. I mean, the temperature's right, but the fish, they love this spot when the sun starts to hit it. So, oh, there we go. We got another one. We got another. Again, I'm looking at the rod right now. The rod's in really good shape right now. The tip is bending, but the backbone is stiff. You're kind of analyzing the rod itself. Ouch. Feisty little guy for a largemouth. And so as I work the fish, I'm looking at the rod because it's the first day with the rod. And so far, I don't think you guys could do better for $40. I really don't think so. That's a really nice rod. $40, guys. Give me a break. Why am I spending $200? It's not customer service, because these guys are the best customer service company I've ever run across. They just don't have any selection at the moment. I mean, to be honest, I'd probably run a bunch of Pissy Fun rods if they had a selection. Right in the sun. You guys probably can't see it. I can't see. We're doing this like nighttime fishing right now. But okay, I can see it. Bait's in the sunlight there. I like the rod. So far we've landed 2 fish on this rod. Nothing big, but quarter pounder, third pounder, something like that. Yeah, nothing much. But the rod's reacting really well. And you can feel it. So even though it's a 2-piece rod, it feels like a one-piece rod. Like I said, I like the Spark Pro too. It's a good reel. I mean, I only have Shimano and Pissy Fun reels, so I have an SLX XT on one rod, a BFS on another. Oh, I left the SLX XT on the other. So I have 3 Pissy Fun reels in my boat and 1 Shimano today. But they are my 2 reels that I would recommend. Sound like a Pissy Fun commercial, right? I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm not a brand ambassador like I was with Cast King. Cast King just was a terrible company, and now they think they're so full of themselves. They think they can charge $350 for a reel. Or $200 for their BFS or Kestrel. I mean, give me a break. And they're knockoffs of the Shimano. So just buy the Shimano. Why pay for the same amount for the? I mean, it's just dumb. Their fishing line's the worst on the market. It really is horrible fishing line. And I'll tell you, fishing line has a lot to do with the effectiveness of a cast and catch. It is the one thing you should not skimp on, and yet it's one of the cheapest things that you could do to improve your fishing is just have really good fishing line. I use Power Pro braid and then P-line fluoro, and I'll tell you, it works really good. Works really good. This is a black and lavender bait. Works really good. This is one of the baits I think I put in Tony's box. So Tony, that's a good bait. Nice, easy retrieve. You can see, what the bait looks like. It's black on the sides and purple top and bottom. I was inspired by a different bait from another custom painter. He did black and pink, and it works really well. So, and I use that bait a lot too. And so you're gonna love this bait. Beyond the buoys just a bit. It stays fairly shallow out here. It's got a long shelf here. And there's a hole out here that you like to fish. Because the fish like to hide in the hole and ambush anybody that comes by. Could put a square bill on here. That would be fun. Just try something a little bit different. Let's put a square bill on here. And not that this won't work, but let's see if I can get something a little bit bigger. We could try a spinner. Let's do a spinner. Oh, I don't want to tug on a spinner. Although, dark colors seem to work better lately. Try a tube. We can try everything. Square bills. Let's try bluegill. This lake does not have bluegills, but the trick is to try to give the fish something they've never seen before. And they hit it out of pure curiosity. That's what you do. This is going to dive about 8 feet or so. We're in 10 feet of water, so we're good. This particular bait has a ton of action on it. It's a 6th sense. It's not one of mine. I'm deeper in the water column on this. This one does dive 6 to 8 feet, so might be a little too deep. I don't know. We'll see. Just want to try to catch something a little bit bigger. So on this rod, get a 1 or 2 pounder on here. I want to see this rod really flex and hold the hook in. Flex. Yeah, we're hitting the grass right now, so we're going to come change this. We got tall vegetation down here. It's not going to work. Put a jerk bait. Let's try a jerk bait. It's long. The odds of getting a larger fish is better. On jerk bait. Got 3 treble hooks. I'm not gonna miss this baby. About half that, so 4 feet, 5 feet. This will allow my wrist to test the weight of this too. Actually saw that. You can, water's real clear here. We have about 14 feet visibility right now in the water. Really good. Just working it. We're basically walking it through the weeds here. This shad. Not reeling it in real fast. We're not burning it. I'm swimming it just a little bit here and there. Lots of little jerks. Get it, change direction. May or may not work. Who knows? Should work. Looks fantastic in the water, though. Let me tell you. Jerk baits are a good all-around bait. They really are. Good all-around bait. If you go real slow, it'll work its way through the vegetation, the grass, without catching on it. If you burn it, it's just gonna get caught up on a lot of the tall grass underneath. Almost at 70-degree water now, pretty much 70. It's going to get really warm this weekend on the water. Interesting to do a walking bait on this. You know what? I know, I'm just trying everything. But I really want to see, there's a medium. So medium rods are really good for walking baits. But walking baits really take it out of my wrist. Just a lot of work. Because, it's wrist. Where is it? Oh, my black magic. I love my black magic. There it is. Okay, this is one that I didn't paint. I know. I love it. It's a very difficult paint job to do, but I love black magics. And I've caught some of the best, biggest fish I've ever caught on this design. My very first bait I ever painted was this design. Big bait for this rod. These things cast a mile, man. Walking baits do. I want to see how the tip works it. Ah, feels really good. Really light in my hand. Working the bait in a perfect zigzag. It's not too mushy. This bait will get a big fish. I'm a little worried about that spring clip or the swivel. You should just tie it directly on this. Let's do that because that swivel is not very good. Tight for it. It's a lightweight swivel. Catch a big one on this. I don't want to lose it because the swivel wasn't strong enough. I have strong swivels, but cinched on such a big bait. And remember, this is a 6-pound test. So if we get a big hit, we have to really work it in and let them run. Just got to let them run because the line's not strong enough to muscle the guy into us. Always do a paranoid knot on top. It's just one. All right. So, and this is a black bait. You know, it's just with some really cool iridescence and fluorescence in it. The rod feels really good, just so you know. Rod feels really good in my hand working this bait. And this is probably the hardest bait to work as a fisherman, bass fisherman. There is a rhythm to it. And each walking bait kind of has its own, walk. I mean, they look similar, but the way you get it to move is and the rod has a lot to do with a good action on a walking bait. What people call a spook. And they're like I don't know, like a lipless, man. They cast them on. They're just aerodynamic. This would be crazy if we get a 4-pounder on this rod. This bait will do it. Never be afraid of bigger baits. This bait is at the limit of this rod, and it's rated capacity. Sixth Sense makes the best mass-produced baits. They really do. And their hooks, second to none. Really sticky, really good hooks. Sometimes you can find their hooks for sale, on sale in Walmart. I don't know. Don't ask me how that happens. But buy them. This is a heavy bait too. I think it's a 150, 120. So it's a big one. It's a big bait. But if I tell you to buy a Sixth Sense, it would be a Black Magic. Just get the entire line of Black Magics. Really, really effective baits. I love the Swanks. I have one, but it's not with me. I kind of get spoiled to keep using my baits. See, now we limit our catch by going with a much larger bait. There's a bunch of baby largemouth jumping out of the water right here. By going with a bigger bait, you're really going for a half pound on up. Yeah, I really can't see with the blinding sun. There's a bunch of little ones right there, but there's got to be a bigger one in there somewhere. Okay, let's go. We can go across the lake. We'll work our way up the west side. That's where the big ones are anyway. So let's do that. Let's go to the west side. And I can, on the way over, I can fit these other two rods. All right, let's get these other two rods fitted. Okay, I get the heavier one done. Keep an eye out here. God, look at that. It looks like this is awesome. You know, you just... Whoa. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I lost my I don't remember that falling off. I must not have locked it. Oh my goodness. This rod's out for the day if I can't find this side plate. I don't remember hearing it fall in the water. It's out if I can. We can't find the side plate because that reel's destroyed without a side plate. Wow. Well, I told you Pissy Fun's the #1 customer service company. I wonder if they'll give me another side plate. I'm sure I can buy one from them. It's definitely my fault. They don't just fall off. They don't just fall off. Interesting. I don't remember hearing a splash. I'm gonna look below me. Nothing. Man! Like I don't have tons of rods, but it's not one thing, it's another, man. Alright. I want this bait though. Side plates are important. And I don't want to lose the spool, so we're going to take the spool out of this, stick it in the tackle box. Because without a side plate, the spool will just fall out. Dang it. So this is a heavier rod. Much harder on the wrist for a topwater. Never catch your hook into your nylon rope. Work it out really gingerly. This is what happens. Have you ever had a series of events that are just bad? That's kind of what this is at the moment. Here it comes. There it goes. I hate when I lose a piece of equipment. You know that? So this is a much stiffer rod than that one. It's harder to work a walking bait on it. Same reel. It's locked. Now I could take this plate off, put it on that one, but this rod I gotta use today. Dang it. I did not hear it fall in the water. But it must have. I don't see it in the boat. Just don't see it in the boat. Dang it. I hate when that happens. Pissy Fun, I'm sorry. I'm gonna order another side plate. I like that reel. I have two of them. So why I got two of them? Remember to lock it. Because evidently I didn't. I didn't lock it. It's my fault. They don't just pop off, that's for sure. Unless you unlock it. That was kind of a screw up for me. I'm gonna put this swim bait on. Sort of mark this area. Getting tired of. I fish more this year, I think, than I ever have, and so it probably just kind of makes sense that lose more, break more, whatever, but it doesn't make it any better, that's for sure. That's for sure. Doesn't make you feel better. Where the heck is this thing? It had to fall in the water. I did not hear I didn't hear that. And you feel it. I mean, it was there and then it wasn't. And it don't float. So, not a whole lot we can do about it right now, right? Got the brightness turned down on my phone, so I don't really see you guys. So we're just going to troll this until I get in the deep water and then pull it in. And then we'll zip across the lake. This one dives about 6 feet. It's swim bait. It's sort of a shad. It's silver with a crappie magenta on it. Again, the magenta, those shades work really good in our lake. So, the pinks, the lavenders, magentas, work real good. I'm sure that your guys' lakes have your its personality of what it likes. We're going to get to the drop off here pretty quick, and all of a sudden that bob's just going to drop off. And we'll let our bait come over the drop off for a little bit, see if anything jumps up on it. And then we'll zip across the other side. And get my other, when we finally get back to the marina, I'll grab another rod to replace that one out of my truck. I thought about putting it on here, but I didn't. You need a medium rod. That's my medium. You have to have a medium. It's just what you gotta have. It's just what you gotta have. You gotta have a medium. This shelf comes way out here. You just don't like when things like that happen. Hoping it fell in a tackle box. That ain't likely. Maybe. I'll find it when a fat body hides so much. Okay, now we're on the drop off. So right now our bait's swimming towards the drop off. If we don't catch something in the next minute, we'll pull it in and we'll zip across to the other side. Work the west side. Okay, pull it in and we'll zip across. Man, it's just not fair. I'm having a weird year. a good year in some ways and frustrating year in so many others. So all right, let's zip across. I gotta fit this other one. This is my spinning ultralight. This is that Carbon X reel. Really good reel. Really good reel. Highly recommend that Carbon X reel. Like this and fun. Alright, this is my ultralight. Oh goodness. I am just... It's just the way the day's going to go, huh? You know what? One thing, just boats don't steer straight unless you have GPS. They just don't. Oh, I've got that on that one, so we gotta pick the right bait for this. This is subsurface, so we're still working high in the water column on this one. This is a craw that I did. So we're gonna put this one on there. It only dives about 2 feet, so we're still working the top of the water column. Which is what you want to do when the water's this warm for bass. There. We're going to lay this one down on the rack. Get over to just north of the homes. Difference in amp draw between 4 and 5 on there is huge. We can go 2 hours on full amp draw on this battery. So, man, I cannot believe I did that. You know? I can't believe we did that. I'm blaming you guys too. Nice rod. Good rod. This one? Yeah. Alright. So what do we got? We got a whopper plopper popper on my BFS. We got a swim bait on my heavy duty, and we've got a shallow crank on my ultralight. Very limited in rod selection at the moment without a medium. I like mediums. They say medium heavy is your best all-around rod. I disagree. It's medium. I mean, you just want a good all-around rod, get a medium. Medium, moderate action, I think you'll be super happy with for pretty much 90% of your fishing. Put a 70-pound Power Pro braid on it. If you want, you can put a leader on it, but I've never used a leader, so I'm about tying that knot. I've done it. I've only done it a couple times. So we're going to, so I went with that bait there. We'll try that bait for a bit. That's a big guy. And it's a diving bait, but it's not much of a diver. So we're going to be in a lot of cover. I really don't want to lose that. Although I do have this really cool thing that somebody gave me. It's a bait retriever. I'll show it to you in a second. Alright, so this is a bait retriever. So what you do is, if you got a bait stuck on something underwater, you put your line through here, then this falls down. It just follows your line all the way down to your bait. These little chains hook the other hook that's exposed, and then with this really strong, string, you just pull it up and it dislodges it. It may bend your hook, but you get your bait back. So really cool, huh? It's a heavy weight, the weight, and you just drop it down and pull it out. And it's called the lure catcher. Lure catcher, that's what it's called. So cool. A buddy of mine gave me this 5 minutes after I lost a lure. Made by Daiwa. Daiwa makes this, man. So cool. And if you're fishing with some pretty nice baits, which I am, you don't want to lose them. You don't want to lose them. So this is my meals for the day. That's a California diet right there. I need to lose weight, fat. I don't like being fat. Oh, I hate being fat. Now you can get used to it, but I don't want to get used to it. I mean, I want to breathe again a little better. All right, bottom's coming up now. So we're going to put on the beast. This is the beast, one that I painted, of course. Top water, wake bait. Big blow-ups, man. I mean, this thing, when they blow up on this, it's fun. A lot of fun, actually. Put 1/0 gamakatsus on it. Really sticky hooks. Borderline size, but we are going to go over here to this area here. See if you can't get a jumper. Like I said, when you're dealing with a big lure like this, you're really limiting your quantity of catches. You really are. I lost that. Got it. It's in the boat. I doubt it. I had it there. Probably fell right off into the lake. All right. All right, guys, let's turn you over here. And this is where we're going to be fishing. Steering is these things do not self-steer. All right. We're just tossing that towards shore. We're just going to work that baby in and get ready to set the hook. And this is one of my beast baits. And we're just working it right on top of the water. It's a wake bait. This bait works about a 3/4 pound fish on up. That's kind of borderline 3/4. 1 pound on up. Bring it in real slow. It's got a good splash to it. You see that? It's got a sail fin on the back of it. It works really, really well to get a good splash going. And I painted it to look just like a rainbow trout, which is an indigenous, well, it's not indigenous, it's just a common fish in the lake. They're all stocked. All plants. Getting a little bit of a breeze. The shoreline. There's a couple of stops on this shoreline I like. It's actually one of them, but I've never caught anything really big here in this spot. But this spot right here, if we take one of the smaller rods, I think we can catch some smallmouth right here. It's good for smalls and large here. Let's get a smallmouth here. I'll put this away for a moment. I love smallies. I really do. I like smallmouths. They fight better than anything else. Whopper, plopper, plopper. Oh my gosh. So weird going to an ultralight after casting that thing. Because this thing weighs nothing. This doesn't weigh a thing. So weird. Even casting that heavy thing. closer to shore. Smallies like the real shallows this year. This is a hard drop off. We're at 11 feet here, but another 30 feet out, we'd be at 50. I'm gonna go with the bigger bait. This one. Come on. Jump on it. Man, I already missed that pole. Big tree right here, underneath the water. Really big tree. Kind of worries me with light line. Ultralight, these fish will dive right down in between those branches. It's a big tree right there, parallel with the shore. I like to work that tree, the length of it. I want to work this side. I want to work the other side. We want them to come on this side of the tree. It's a 6-pound test on an ultralight. If I get a 3 or 4 pounder, I'll lose them in the branches. And you had to think of that too. I mean, big fish are big because they're smart. They know how to dislodge a hook, and they use props to do that. You know, they will dive into weeds, into branches, anything to help them dislodge the hook from their mouth. And it's like using a tool down there. It's crazy, but they're that smart. They really are that smart. That's why they're old. Also, we always put them back. I mean, a sport fisherman will not keep a big fish. They'll do their pictures, their weighing, their measuring. They're not going to keep a big fish unless they're jerks. And I would really call them a jerk. Put the fish back. Keep the 1 and 2 pounders. If you want to eat something, you'll catch plenty of 1 and 2 pounders. No reason to keep a 10 pounder. None whatsoever. I guess you can mount it, you know, but again, a little selfish and indulgent. And that costs a lot of money. Just on the other side of that branch. Ooh, hit the branch, but it bounced off. Good. Try to keep it in frame for you. Oh, I caught one. He must have got it on the drop. But it's just a little guy. It's just a little guy on it. Yeah, he's still on it. It's a baby fish. He caught it right on the drop. His eyes are bigger than his mouth. There's no way he's going to swallow that. And there you go. Woohoo! He got it right on the drop. All right, come on. That's not why we're on this side. We're not here to catch the babies. We're here to catch the biggies, the grandpas, the great grandpas, grandmas. That's what we're here for. Big branches too. Just casting on this side of it so I can keep the fish from going behind it. If we catch one. big tree under us right here. Big tree. Big tree. Let's get over to that rootstock and that other tree right there. Right between them. Perfect. You know, my casting has gotten a lot better. Now, my ability to not break things, that's different. I believe I lost that plate. I think it's the first side plate I've ever lost. I know that sounds weird, but most fishermen do lose side plates more often, but it's the first one I've ever lost. Another big tree under us. There's so much cover on that. That's why bigger fish are on this side. The other side's got mostly grass, which in itself is cover. Look at that big old, there's a big old tree right there. Yeah, that's a big tree right there. It's running parallel to the shoreline too. We need to cast it. One more. I think my bait's hung up on itself. Sometimes it gets a little narcissistic and gets hung up on itself. You always tell when these are professionally felled trees, they trim them up. And so you don't have the branches. Like there's, again, a very long trimmed up tree under the water right here. And we're going to work that a little bit. I'm going to break out the beast. Around here, I usually do pretty good with my beast. Let's see if we can get a big blow up on it. Was a little blow up. He wasn't gonna, he was too small for this bait. Too small for this bait. big fish here. Here, next 300 yards. I'm glad those people are staying away from the shore. I don't want to just mess up my opportunity. Love this bait. Love this bait. So with the fish, we just got to get one big enough. This is a 7.5-inch wake bait. Lawn trench rangers. With this bait, I keep the butt stuck right into my gut. Yeah, I want to set that hook hard to get it. Look at that bait swimming. Awesome. Okay, we're coming up to my big tree here. It's got a 100-foot tree that's trimmed up under the water. Big old root stock sticking out. That's, you know, the marker for the base of it. Believe it or not, from here to the shore is the length of that tree. About 100 feet. This is the tree I hooked that massive one. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Try to get you in the frame. Got some herd coming. Boy Scouts right there, camping on the shore. Big one down there. Let's try a smaller thing. Try this bait. Go to the ultralight. BFS. Come on. There's gotta be one here. There's always one down there. It's just little usually. I mean, oh, there you go. Told you. Right up at the boat. Look at that. Smallmouth. I think. Not largemouth. There's always one down there. A little largemouth. Swimming right up to the boat. Alright, let's try it again. Where's all the smoke coming from? There must be a fire nearby. We got a lot of smoke on the lake right now. And that wasn't here. There's a fire. We we got a fire going not far from the lake here, guys. We're safe in the water, but there's so much smoke. It wasn't here earlier. A lot of smoke. Lots of smoke. There's a fire close by. Wow. I have my heater. Yeah. I'm gonna need it. How close it is and which part of the Cascade. It's definitely on this side of the Cascade. I mean, that's a green. It's to the west, it's more blue. Huh. Big fire. It is bad. Resort's not on fire. Where near the resort is though. I mean, look at this, guys. You saw how clear it was earlier. It's all smoke from a fire. Crazy. You used to be able to see Mount McLaughlin, and it's completely obscured. small one over there, so. That's a perfect cast. Come on. Something, come on, get it. That's a perfect cast. That's not the sheriff. It's a different boat today. Life jacket, whistle, lights. Go to my right. Go to my starboard. I got it on both. Hey guys,
How are you?
always good on the water. I do have my license. I got a 2-pole, but I can't do 2. I have it in paper and on my phone if you want it.
Thank you for getting it this year. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Nice little boat. Yeah, it's a great boat.
it's my bass boat. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Wow, that's the first time I ever had a game warden near me. Huh. It was Oregon. Didn't ask to see it, but I got it. Hey guys,
How are you?
I'm doing well today.
What did that cost you, that little setup?
Well, the boat's only 1,500, but you add the lithium battery, the motor, and the fish finder, you double it.
Yeah.
So it's about 3 for everything.
By the time you get the seats in there? Yeah, but that's a nice little setup. I like
Yeah, well, the seats that came with it were really comfortable. I kind of want to get those back. I actually bought these, and the cushions, this cushion's horrible. So I bought a really dense cushion for this and replaced it. And it's, yeah, these seats look comfy, but the original one's so much better.
Huh. What'd you do with the original?
They're in the garage, but one of them was breaking.
Oh.
You know, they're plastic. And so I just wanted something a little more durable for my fatness. But I didn't think a fat butt could be so bony. I really didn't think, but it is. So I need to get those seats back, I think.
So you're after bass, aren't you?
Yes.
Are you catching any?
Yeah.
Largemouth or smallmouth?
All largemouth so far.
Really?
I haven't caught a smallie yet. I caught nothing of big size, up to a pound a day. But I've got this bait right here. This guy has hooked some really big beasts in the water, and it's a top water bait. It's a 7.5-inch wake bait, and that guy right there can catch some really big ones. So I'll end up trolling them across here. So the first 500 yards or so is pretty good for a big bait, for a big hit. I can catch 4 or 5 pounders right here.
I thought they'd all be in here.
You know what? This has got a bunch. See, I mean, there's just little ones in this particular patch. I mean, so if I throw a frog out there, the little guys will hit it, but they're just too small to swallow it.
Okay.
I think the biggest one I've caught out of this patch is about 1.5 pounds. which is a good sized bass.
But you can catch 4.5 pounders on out here.
In the open water out there, yeah. So this guy will be used out there. I'm just using this other wake bait right along the edge here to get to those little guys out. But this guy will catch up to a 2.5, 3 pounder.
Really?
But this guy will catch 10 pounders.
Do
So
they have 10 pounders in here?
they do.
They do. That's a well kept.
I want, well, people don't realize this is a natural bass lake. It's not a trout lake. All the trout in this lake are planted,
Right.
and they're all farm trout. But the bass, I mean, you'll see them jump out of the water all the time, the babies. And this lake just breeds bass like crazy. And I would love to catch the state record, which is 12.16. And I know there's bigger ones than that in this lake. I hooked one on this, but he was so smart. I mean, he dove, he put himself into the branches, and was able to dislodge the hook. So I put better and bigger hooks on this bait in order, so next time it'll stick in his mouth a little bit better. But he had to be a good 14. I mean, I've never seen a bass that big in my life. And I lost him. And then a buddy of mine hooked one pretty large a couple weeks ago over in Rainbow Bay. He's caught a 10 pounder, and he said it was an easy 13. So there's definitely a state record in this lake. So you'd be shocked.
Okay, I'll head back with you.
And bass are fun to catch.
I got lots of friends that are bassmen, they don't say anything.
Are we gonna?
That's because everybody comes here for trout or salmon. But those are. But I'll catch trout when they share the water column. They're stupid. They'll hit anything that swims by them. But a bass, God, they're strong, especially the big bucket mouths. They shake it out and they're smart. They'll dive on you, and they'll use props underneath the water to dislodge it.
Sure.
And they're just that smart. But yeah, this 50-pound test on this, I ain't losing them.
You're going for bear.
Yeah, no, that's 50 pounds. I mean, I don't care where he dives, I'm going to pull up a tree. But he's going to be attached to the tree.
Okay. So you can go out there and catch big bass.
Right out there, yeah.
How far out?
About 400 yards.
No.
Yeah, you'll see good vegetation underneath you out there.
Yeah.
And you'll catch them out there. That's a lunker spot.
I'll be there.
So, and I mean, along the shoreline here, you can catch some big ones. I had a blow up about a 4-pounder the other day. Yesterday? I lose track. I fish too much. There are some good hiding spots over here. But this open water, and the water's 70 degrees right now.
Yeah.
It's great top water fishing right now. So we got a couple more. In fact, this week's going to get so hot, we'll have 75-degree water, and they'll just be popping out of the water with top water hits. It's going to be fun this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I want that beast. I want the state record, and there are certain things you have to do to register this state record. I got everything in the boat, so I want them. And my YouTube channel is called Terrible at Fishing. How ironic would it be for a guy that's terrible at fishing to get a state record? And I paint my own baits. So all these baits are painted by me. All hand painted. So it'd be fun to catch it. And terrible at fishing on one of his terrible at fishing baits. I mean, there's irony there.
Good.
You guys live on the lake?
No.
No,
we're
just visiting?
up here visiting. Yeah.
He's from Thule out in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, I live in Klamath too, but I love this lake. Where's the fire at? This wasn't like this morning.
No.
Where'd the fire start?
We're thinking it's got to be from
It's got to be over there, yeah.
Bly Mountain.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere like that because it was perfect this morning, and now look at it. You can't even see the other side of the lake.
No, this is awful.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Of course, I don't know my directions up here either. Right?
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's kind of weird
Well, that's Klamath. That way.
that way. Okay.
Medford's that way. And that looks like it's not a valley fire because it's bluer over there. So
Yeah. It's got to be coming from Bly Mountain.
yeah.
Well, they got that one up in Bend too. That I don't know. I haven't seen the news for a few days. See what's going on.
Well, but it was clear this morning.
Yeah, I know.
Perfectly
it just,
clear.
Yeah, and this is a local fire. It's got to be a local fire.
That's all right. It could be something new.
Yeah.
We better be getting the hell out of here.
No, we're safe here.
We're in the lake.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. I figured if you're gonna have a fire, this is what the place you want to be, right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you guys enjoy your day.
Hey, you too.
We're gonna try to get some more top water.
Thanks for enlightening us.
I'll tell you, get your bass buddies out here. This is the smallmouth and largemouth are good. I think the biggest smallmouth I caught in this lake's a 4-pounder, and that's a huge.
That's a big
And a fighter. I rather catch smallies than largemouth, but we'll get one.
Hey, man, have a good day.
You too, guys. All right, guys, we're gonna have to turn you off because I'm gonna run out of power. I can't even see that thing. Let's see.